What's up? Twitch, what's up? What am I? YouTube, Twitch. I can't remember where all this is going right now. YouTube, Twitch, locals. Should be on X, but for some reason my X won't go to my. It won't go to my X account. And Facebook now has it set up so I can't go live until I have 100 followers. And given that my account is shadow banned and I only get friend requests from bots and OnlyFans bot accounts, which are fucking annoying as hell. I wish those would like and scammers, of course. Yeah, you get the scammers because they too most of the time are shadow banned, and then it's like you're in shadow ban land together. They can see you, you can see them, but nobody else can. But your friends, as long as they can find you, they can see your shit. So it's not technically shadow banning. I call bullshit. Anyway, that's some xeno in a cart. We want the specs. Oh, we got, I don't know what the parent spares are. I have not looked it up. I'm just sitting here thinking like, yeah, it's like you got to be consistent, right? But the consistency doesn't help. Go back and look at my old pages. There's Dr. Pology. The very first one I had 280 followers on, East Coast Terps, before they got to shadow ban it. Now I have 36 followers. So explain to me, without a shadow ban happening, without Facebook actively preventing my content, which it doesn't make sense because they actively allow cannabis content on the platform. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, yeah, and then that messes with your Instagram account, so then your Instagram's screwed as well. Anyway, whatever. Let's see here. We've got CBD 0%. This is a THC 81.25%, which I talked about this last time I came on here and I wrote a little thing about it. That makes no sense. It's THCA, 130,000% THCA in a cart. Like THC is what is in an edible, as it is already decarbed the THCA to THC so that it's available and ready for you to ingest it and it to work, because your body reacts to delta 9, delta 8, delta 10, delta 9 here, THC, not THCA. So, and the reason why you'll see THCA in the higher levels on, like, you know, go to smoke shop or the cig store and you get to see the hemp. Yeah, okay, well, it's only hemp under their new classification of the word hemp, which is simply a semantic bullshit. And whether that's because the FDA knew what they were doing, or they're just completely stupid and think that THCA is some kind of research something. It's still unknown as far as I am aware. Anyway, there was a 3 months ago, there was a YouTube video released, big one from some big, can't remember, it wasn't Vice, but it was one of the big ones, talking about the THCA loophole, which I've been hammering on since the beginning of this. Like, since the law was literally written, and I was like, wait, what? No. But, you know, I'm just one guy. Can't really do much with that. Try to get stuff out there, but usually end up arguing with trolls online. People telling me that my content is copy and pasted and all kinds of other shit. I would love to see somebody... Like, take the pinene lean formula. That's a very easy one to search up. Go look at it. Go take the pinene formula, put it in Google image search, and I promise you the only place you're going to come back to is either someplace I've posted it to or me. Because it... So anyway, yeah, I copy and paste all my shit. All right, so, I mean, I steal everybody's stuff, you know, that's what I do. 81.25% THC. I think they're doing that right there to try to throw off legislators. Maybe it's a typo. Highly doubtful, considering that now these products are also listed on the, at least the recreational adult use side of menus at the Apothecarium and a couple other ones that I've seen as cannabis derived. So now I guess it's necessary to differentiate between cannabis derived and hemp derived. And that's how they're getting around not saying the obvious, that the FDA either fucked up or knowingly created a federally legalized marketplace wherein literally whatever state you're in, as long as they're not cracking down on it hard, you can sell weed out of your fucking whatever shop you have, and yeah, just call it hemp and you're good to go. As long as it's less than 0.3% THCA, which is still the stipulation they use. That was always the stipulation for hemp, but previously hemp was literally, when you said hemp, people thought of industrialized or used for industry, right? Not the flower, but grown for the stalk and the foliage thereon, not the flower. Now they're literally taking just stuff that has, like real cannabis, actual cannabis you would just grow that has 0.3% THC or less, or they just dial that down somehow through genetic breeding and crank up the THCA as high as they can, and now you have legalized market. But that's why I think they're doing that on here, because it does a typo. Somebody, did they just missed it? I don't think so. Anyway, THCA 81.25%, CBG 2.62%. So you got heightened CBG. This is indica. CBC at 1.21%. It's indica hybrid, obviously. Both the heightened CBGA level, I'm still working on that too. CBGA. See, olivetolic acid and geranyl diphosphate are the precursors that make the initial cannabinoid in cannabis. First one made, CBGA, cannabigerolic acid. Cannabigerolic acid converts into your other list of cannabinoids, CBCA, CBC, or CBDA, CBCA, all of those, right? The acid form. But given my hypothesis and given the line of thinking that evolutionarily adaptive topological discernment and assignment developmental protocol, given all that, given how I think about it, if CBGA is heightened above the average indica level that you see in concentrates, 1.5, around 1.5%, to like 2.62% like it is here, given that sativa predates, came before indica in Mother Nature, modern science, if we go along with that, does it make more sense that CBGA at a heightened level would be characteristic of sativa because there's more of it? I would venture to say, if indica is a like dumbed down, if you will, whatever, it's a micro adaptation, and when it micro adapts, it's usually not as the original, right? So I would speculate, given that there are more cannabinoids present in sativa than indica, look at any profile, you see that, and just given that, would it make more sense that CBGA heightened is characteristic of sativa, or would it make more sense that CBGA heightened is indica characteristic because it is not utilized in the other cannabinoids? So either more of it has been utilized and you have a larger number in sativa, or it's not utilized, so you have a larger number in CBGA. And I think it's the latter, that it's not utilized, so you have a higher number of CBGA. But I don't know, because that one's a little confusing. I got to do more digging, and I've honestly been slacking a lot because, well, I use Facebook more than anything else, and I need to stop. I need to start using X, because honestly, Facebook is just pointless. Like it, and I've tried being like 3 fucking years of is pretty goddamn consistent, and that's just, it's actually been longer than that. Crazy. Anyway, your terpenes on this, I'll shut up now. Terpene, alpha pinene, 0.4%, 0.04%, beta pinene, 0.04%. So if you use the pinene lean, you got 0.08. It's 50-50, according to this, the pinene lean. But it's not 50-50. It's just over 50-50. It's indica leaning for sure. No beta myrcene. It's just fine with me. I don't like myrcene. I like myrcene at normal levels, not the levels often found in at least the recreational side of things today. What people prefer on the recreational side, freak you the fuck out, cranked up in myrcene. Limonene, 0.33%. Terpinolene, 0.03, which you expect in an indica hybrid, as it is sativa characteristic. Terpinolene is. Linalool, what you would expect, 0.31. Beta-caryophyllene is dominant, 1.67%. Alpha-humulene, expected, 0.60%. Typically, you're going to see linalool and humulene around and near the level of beta-caryophyllene, or it'll be beta-caryophyllene, linalool, humulene, or humulene, linalool. They tend to be together. Although here you have 1.67% drop down to 0.60%. When you look at the rest of the numbers, it's still kind of grouped together, those 3. It drops down after that to limonene at 0.33%. So, yeah, it's got a shot of beta-udesmol, 0.24%, which is actually pretty high for beta-udesmol. Anyway, old school. Not really old school, but it is now. Cannabis Cart company that was one of the only female owned cannabis companies when cannabis started here in Maryland, who got ran out by the $200-some thousand, what was it? Pretty sure it was $250,000. Can't remember. There was a big ass fee that they charged them to convert from their medicinal licensing to their dual market, which is what they say, so that they don't have to call it an open market and abide by open market fairness rule, right? They don't abide by any rules anyway. The cannabis industry doesn't. I mean, they've been told numerous times now by the FTC to stop using non-competes, and they just take the FTC to court. How the fuck does that happen? A bunch of millionaires, that's how that happens. Millionaires. And don't let the fucking DEI stuff, if you're in a blue state like I am, unfortunately, Maryland, don't let that shit trick you. There is no DEI in this cannabis industry. All it is, sure, once you get down the chain, a couple years, 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, sure, they'll DEI. But I don't agree with the shit anyway. I think it's stupid to base something on somebody's race and say, although given cannabis industry, it's obviously there has been disproportionate affect, but yeah, there are no fucking 75% of the initial industry was white men, owned by white men. So where's the DEI? That's basically just a depiction of the state as is, and not even, because Maryland has Baltimore and the surrounding area, which throws off the statistic there. You know what I mean? The census numbers. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'm in hot now. Cheers. Yes, I have to hold it down because this is a 1 grab battery. to half grade cart. So you can do it. You just got to hold it, press it down, work as the threads. John, if you're looking for something to relax, you don't want to fuck around with all the rigs and I like to play with banners and rigs and church slippers and whatnot. The Xeno is very, very nice. I don't know if it's still on market. This one's on sale, but I really like it. Puts you down. And a few bits. If you go to use one of these, make sure you pop it. That way you know if you're getting a hit. Sometimes it's real smooth, so you really can't tell. Guess if you just sit there and hold your breath, though, you'll figure it out. It's only 26 bucks for this half gram. Not bad. It was on sale a few, but and that was on the adult use side. I've got to get my prescription rewritten. I don't have a cannabis prescription right now. This is one reason why lack of content lately. Been sharing a lot of the old stuff, going back through my older accounts. Just shared a bunch of stuff from my original account, which they, for some reason, went through and I guess turned all my fucking imagery and videos on that page down to 420p or like I don't. It looks like it was recorded in fucking 1990 on like a fucking camcorder or something, but it's not from. You look at all the rest of my stuff. It's in whatever the HD updated, whatever it is now. 1020, 1040, whatever. It's a cigarette, YouTube. Tobacco. Xeno Tobacco. It's the name brand of the company. Just discuss the wish list molecules in there. Can't think right now. And that, my friends, is why I started taking some medications. You'll note whenever I haven't taken my medicine, when I have, because I do stuff like that. You've seen it like 3 or 4 times here. My brain just kind of shuts off and it sucks. Yeah. Be in the middle of like go back through my lives and you can see them where you literally see me speaking, you hear me talking and see it. And my brain just goes stupid. And then, yeah. But it's not that it goes, I have too much shit going on in my brain. That's what it is. That's what I mean by go stupid. I don't mean that I'm just dumbfounded, blank-minded. I mean that I got so much shit sprinting through my head that I don't know what to grab a hold of. But it's not that I don't know what to grab. That's how I describe it. But I do lose track of what I'm thinking, what I was initially talking and thinking about. It's like while I'm speaking, my brain gets ahead of myself or something, and I start veering off these, like, okay, you can describe what the fuck about this, and then that, and then I don't get back on track to fucking and tie everything together like I planned to whenever I veered off. Yeah. I had no idea that that's actually what people that there's way too many people that take a lot of medicine, a lot of different medicines. I think a lot of people I jumped to the about anxiety. I thought I knew what anxiety was. You ever have to deal with any type of benzo that coming off of or detoxing, and apparently people tell me that SSRIs are just as bad, which is just a depression pill. It's what they give anybody who would go in and say, I'm sad. Zoloft, Prozac, the stuff they get, SSRI, sustained serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So it sustains the reuptake of serotonin, which reuptake your serotonin, you would be like, well, wouldn't that be good? But it's not good. Anyway, yeah. SSRI, I can't believe that, like, there's, and they prescribe them so, not that it's freely prescribed, it's that for a long time it was just, and it still is with SSRIs. They put everybody on depression pills and stuff. I'm real cautious about starting medicines that I have never taken before. Which is a good thing, because one medicine that started me on Resin, I never picked it up and never took it, and I didn't plan to. It was some kind of something for sleeping. And it's a good thing I didn't, because whenever I was like, whenever they had to take me off of it for whatever reason, he mentioned about detoxing. I'm like, I never started taking it, so there's no reason to detox. So, but it's good to know that I knew they just don't. Doctors don't work with that. Even with opiates, when they do now a little bit. They at least mention it. And I remember when they started doing that, mentioning that opiates were, like, you had to sign like they made a bigger deal about it and stuff. Like at the dentist, for example, when they would prescribe them. Anyway, I'm just sitting here talking my thoughts. That's what I'm doing right now. I can't believe that it's like big pharma. Like, if you think about what that really is, like just giant, massive, industrialized drug dealers, manufacturers. They're just left alone and allowed to do what they're doing. So, meaning it's legal. Because it's not the government, technically. It's just independent companies. And that blows it crazy. And after the FDA doing stuff, like, if you think about that, think about the FDA. Let's say what most people would think is that, like, or I think most people would want to think that they didn't try to legalize a federal secondary market next to the one that they said that we could operate, just to try to, I don't know, fucking maniacal shit or whatever. But for whatever reason, I would think most people would think that they just didn't understand it. But that's even worse. If they made a move, granted, I am partaking in that move, that they, you know what I mean? It helped. I'm not bitching about it. But they made a move without really knowing about what the hell they were doing. It's either that or they legalized a legal another market right next to the states markets that were trying to legalize. Wild, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm out for. Take it easy, peeps.